Welcome to another episode of Taste of Magic. This episode, I'm going to be talking about Return to Ravnica again. I'm going to be talking about some possible spoilers for Return to Ravnica. This is way before spoiler season, and these are all unofficial and may not be real. But the first one is for the Selesnya Conclave. Supposedly, some guy found a accidental print card in his Magic 13 pack, and if it's real, then it has the new Conclave keyword, which is Populate. Populate works by giving you another creature token that's a copy of a creature token you already control, which is an awesome concept. It's kind of the opposite of Proliferate. Proliferate gives you extra counters. Populate gives you extra creature tokens. They're kind of the two halves of Doubling Season, which was kind of a conclave card. And Doubling Season probably will not be reprinted because of the way that it interacts with Planeswalkers. Because Planeswalkers have loyalty counters, it doubles those loyalty counters, and just kind of allows the Planeswalkers to get out of hand really fast. It they might reprint it. You never know, but Doubling Season is just so great for combo decks. It would be really nice if they did print it because it's such a cool card, and it's for Johnny's, it's for Timmy's. It's not probably really a spike card, but it's definitely a lot of people like that card. So Populate gives you extra creature tokens, which can work really well with a lot of cards. One card from Innistrad is Parallel Lives. It's the creature token half of Doubling Season. It's more localized, so you only get double tokens, you don't get double counters, which can be good because then you don't have to worry about getting double -1/-1 counters. And it's also cheaper, which is a little nicer. So the creature tokens could be really awesome. The guild leader last time around in Ravnica was the Chorus of the Conclave, which was a bunch of dryads that had a hive mind kind of going on. So they were all about unity. They were kind of like the Borg, really, except they were all about, white and green, whereas the Borg seemed more black to me. Uh, the and the champion, he even made a creature token. It was a legendary creature token called Vol'jah. One of the few legendary creature tokens. There's only a handful of them, like Kaldra, Merit Lodge. Uh, Not a lot of legendary creature tokens. But anyway, the new guild leader in Return to Ravnica is 3 dryads that are all the same creature. You can see from the picture that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con that their feet are kind of roots that go in together, so they're kind of a tree. They're all the same thing, and Mark Rosewater called them the Dryad Triad. I can't remember what their actual name was, but he kept talking about how they were 3 creatures and 1 creature at the same time. And there's another creature that is 3 creatures and 1 creature at the same time that I can think of, and that is the Precursor Golem, who is 3/3 golems, but they all kind of act the same way because whenever they're targeted by a spell, it gets copied for each one. So I wonder if the Dryad Triad will be similar to the Precursor Golem. Another note with the Precursor Golem is if Populate is real, then imagine they make a green card that is target creature gets +1/+1 and Populate. You cast that on one of your Precursor Golems, it copies for every golem you control, and you get to populate for each golem you control. So you can pretty much double your golems, make lots of 3/3 tokens. So that would be an awesome combo if Populate is real. Unfortunately, Scars of Meriton will be rotating out when when Return to Ravnica comes back, so this won't be really a tournament thing. But it could be a lot of fun for kitchen table stuff. The second guild I'm going to talk about a little bit is the Golgari. The Golgari are going to be in a new dual deck coming out later this month or next month, I'm not sure, where it's Izzet versus Golgari. And the foils, the premium foils are on the cover, so we know that Niv Mizzet is going to be on the cover. And also, we know that the new guy, Gerard, the Golgari Lich Lord, is going to be on the cover. And the one that they showed at Comic Con was in Japanese, but of course, you know, somebody out there is going to try and translate it. So, we know the Niv Mizzet that is on the cover is the old Niv Mizzet, not the new one. All the guilds are getting new cards, so even the guild leaders that are still around, such as Niv Mizzet, are getting a new card. It's not going to be the old Niv Mizzet. But Gerard is completely new, and as far as people can tell, this is from MagicSpoilers.com. Somebody tried to translate, even though it looks really blurry to me. Basically, Gerard gets +1/+1 for every creature card in your graveyard. Very Golgari effect. And you can pay 1 black and 1 green and sacrifice a creature you control, another creature you control, not him, and every opponent loses life equal to that creature's power. So that is also really neat power. It's every opponent, so that's a multiplayer power too. This could go really well with a lot of the other Golgari cards. As you remember, the old Golgari word was dredge, and one of the best dredge cards is the Golgari Grave Troll, who dredges for 6, and when he comes into play, he gets a +1/+1 counter for every creature card in your graveyard. Another card that will be great with Golgari is the Splinter Fright. Splinter Fright mills you for 2 every turn, and his power and toughness is equal to the creatures in your graveyard. Boneyard Worm, same thing, but no trample, and just kind of a vanilla creature. And then the Golgari Land, which is Svagthas, the Restless Tomb, also turns into a creature with power and toughness equal to the creature cards in your graveyard. So this is a very Golgari thing. Lots of creature card in your graveyard. Dredging got really popular in Legacy because it was so powerful. You can control the board and control your graveyard so much, and this will just be awesome with the Innistrad cards. You got things like Gnaw to the Bone, where you gain life for every creature card in your graveyard. You got Wreath of Geist, where you can enchant a creature and give him +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So, and Splinter Fright, I think, is going to be a real staple in Golgari decks. So Golgari is a great guild to be coming off of Innistrad. So those are the 2 guilds that I wanted to talk about today. Those are some new spoilers that you may or may not have heard of. Obviously, Populate, we don't know if it's real, we don't know if it's fake. If it's fake, someone went through a lot of trouble to fake it out. Somebody mentioned that the legal text at the bottom of the card does not match old Magic cards, and someone else mentioned that the legal text has been changed in some of the other card sets that Wizards produces. The Duel Masters card, they recently changed the legal text, so that might be real. I actually think that because the legal text is different, that makes it more likely that it's real. Because if you were bothering to make a fake card, you would want to make it as real as possible, and you would make sure that the legal text at the bottom was the same as the other cards. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Thanks for joining me. See you again on Taste of Magic.